Oh, here she is, right here.
What the heck happened? Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Lisa? How are you?
Darn heck. How are you doing?
It's going wonderful. I got to tell you, I don't want this to be like a Me Too thing, but I mean, the gray hair. I mean, come on, man, you rock it. Like,
I earned it.
No, but I'm just saying though, like a lot of women, they dye their hair and stuff, but like I got to tell you, it looks good on you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate
I'm sorry.
that.
I've already now I seem like a creep as soon as I brought you on. I'm like,
no, this is one of the best openings I've ever had.
Lisa, how are you?
I am swell. It was a long day at work, but I came home and I've been painting and listening to crime shows to unwind. How about you?
What crime shows do you watch? Are you one of those Dateline people? Have you ever heard that guy, that older gentleman that they have? He's got one of the smoothest. I mean, you know what? I'm
Keith
comfortable.
Richardson.
Yes,
Morrison.
Yes. And I got to tell you, if I was like, is it important as a lady, like when you're like meeting a man or something, the voice is the voice? Because I have a little bit of a higher pitched voice, and people say that it kind of wears on them and stuff, but to have that smooth.
But enough about your mother.
What I know, but to have that like deep of a voice and stuff, it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. My husband does an amazing Keith Morrison impression because he will turn to me and say, "Or did they?"
Hey, Lisa, before we get into the interview, and by the way, I'm glad to be speaking with you, but this was a last minute booking and stuff.
Fresh. I like to say fresh.
You know what though, Lisa, if I'm being honest, I do some show prep when it comes to the guests that I have on, but I like to like know the bare minimum. I like my interviews to be like you just meeting somebody on the street and having a conversation with them. Before we get into the interview, Lisa, tell my audience, the supporters of my show, a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how they can check out your stuff.
Can do. I am Lisa David Olson. I'm an author. Go ahead.
Why do you go with the three names? Because usually most serial killers go with three names. Lisa David Olson, John.
And all radio people use their first name and their middle name as the name. But I stole my husband's middle name.
Tuddle is not. It's just stupid radio name that the first radio show I worked on. So like, it's not my first, middle, or last name.
Nice. No, I'm Lisa Olson, and if you live anywhere around where I do, which
go with Lisa David Olson. I didn't mean to like sway you from that. Like, I don't think
no. There is a cute little story. It's adorable. Right. Are you ready?
I'm interrupting you.
You also interrupt yourself, which is really cute. My son does that. It's everybody has this common Olson name where I live, and so I stole my husband's middle name. Yeah, the Olson twins. And then there's Lisa and the Cult Jam. So I stole my husband's middle name to make it Lisa David Olson when my book came out, because if you Google Lisa Olson, you're not going to find my book. And if you look for my podcast, you're not going to find it. So I stole his middle name. It's my third and final husband, and that's the part that makes it cute.
Hey, are you okay? Like, if any questions come up in the chat room, to take them?
Totally. And there's nothing you can't ask me, because I probably already posted it or wrote about it or made it up. CNCC Chips writes, is she a wine mom? Like, are you one of those moms, like, after a long day picking up the... No, not a wine mom? Jameson.
That is hard. Oof.
Give me. Whoa. I can't do
Irish?
much, but
you Irish?
No. I just had taste.
No, I haven't drank anything since 2019.
You must be thirsty.
Yeah,
holy hydrate, dude.
No, I was a raging alcoholic, and I tried to harm myself and spent 11 days in a hospital and stuff, and I decided to. Don't, man. It was one of the best things that happened to me. It was a wake up call that made me turn things around. But like, even the smell of it now, I mean, I would be lying to you if I didn't say, like, there's some times where I'm like, oh man, I had a good time when I was drinking and stuff, but I just can't do it anymore. But Jameson, I used to drink a lot of that.
Yeah, Jameson mules. That's very tasty and refreshing.
So
But
the
no,
book,
wine gives me a headache. But what does Cece drink? I would like to know that.
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna ask questions, she's gonna ask questions as well too. Tell me a little bit about the book. I've always been fascinated with people that write. Did you write it yourself, or did you have a ghostwriter?
I wrote it myself. It's called Laughs on Rye, WRY, and it's about growing up in an alcoholic home and how humor saved my life. And that's what my first TEDx is on as well. That humor did save my life. And it's the book talks about what it was like, the ups and downs of getting along with my mother and then being beaten by my mother and then being dragged out of bed in the middle of the night, and how I still have night frights from that and how I get through it.
So, one of my problems was, and I haven't been open about mine because, growing up in the South, you just don't, especially in a small town. And I talk about it a little bit, and maybe one day I will talk about my trauma growing up. But,
Yeah.
um, it's just like when you live in a small town, especially in the South, before my dad passed away, I told him about what had happened, and I told my mom. But the reason why I didn't tell them was because I was like, I didn't want my dad to spend the last years of his
Mm,
life in jail, because I know, like, he, like, would have killed somebody. Like,
mm,
I mean, he's gone now, so it's not like they can get rid of him and throw him in jail for, like, thinking about doing something. But
right, right.
no, it was a long time. Like, I had to deal with that stuff. And I think a lot of my addiction problems, and I'm not like making excuses and stuff, but a lot of people in the United States, they self medicate because
Correct.
because
Correct.
there's a stigma, because
Yep.
it's getting better over generations. We don't deal with mental health the way we should
Mhm.
here in this country. And there is a stigma because growing up, I mean, it wasn't that bad. I don't want people to think that my parents were like, they didn't care, but it was like, if you said you were depressed or you dealing with it, what do you got to be depressed about and stuff? You
Go
said,
run on the track, boy.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But when you said beat you and pull you out of bed and stuff, like,
Yeah.
was it because you were messing up and stuff, or
No,
was
it
it?
was my mother's alcoholism and that was her rage, and then the next day we'd get McDonald's. So, Happy Meal toys are a trigger, not
Mm.
really, but, it was the give and take of somebody self-medicating their mental issues, for sure, and there is nothing wrong with being on a med, and people now, especially with COVID, are more open to saying, "I'm struggling in this thing." Reach out to your friends if you haven't heard from them. Do check on them, and we all need to let each other know we're there for each other, and I recommend you do write your book because when mine came out, people approached me and stated that I was brave, and I was like, "Really?" And it helped because we connected through story, and that is how we grow and help each other.
Um, you know, I I don't, I'm not against prescription drugs. Like the psychotropic meds, mood stabilizing stuff, because I was on 3 of them before I went into the hospital.
Wow.
Um, but when I went in, it was like a cattle call when you went in to, like, see the psychiatrist. Their only job was to make sure you didn't harm yourself. But they had me on 9 pills plus an injection
Were
every.
you good at taking them? Or you were on them
No,
steady?
well, yeah. I was taking my 3, but it killed the sex drive, Lisa. Like,
Oh.
I did not. I thought that I was just concentrating on work and stuff,
Mhm.
and I wasn't, because, like, I wasn't even masturbating and stuff. And I'm not trying to, like, it's like there was
Normal things.
yeah.
That's a normal thing, and when you don't have that quality of life, you're just gonna sink lower into the dark.
But when I got out of the hospital, because I it was a wake up call, because instead of, like, talking and treating the problem, we just want to over prescribe medications,
Yes.
because
"Oh, that one didn't work? Let's try this one.
yeah,
Give it 2 weeks."
and it's all about the pharmaceutical companies pushing and giving bonuses to doctors and stuff
Right. Yeah.
to write their meds and everything. And it was one of the hardest withdrawal. It was actually harder than alcohol to get off. I went cold turkey as soon
Oh,
as I got out of the
wow.
hospital, and I know it was a dumb thing to do, but I'm off all of the meds now. Like, I'll be honest, I smoke well, we have medical, but I'm don't have medical marijuana card, but I do
There's
partake in
nothing
that.
wrong with that.
And
Nothing wrong with that. It's all gonna be legal anyways.
now, have you read anything? I'm not trying to get. I'm going to get back to your book and stuff, but I
No
wanted to get
problem.
your opinion on stuff. Have you read anything about psychedelics like mushrooms and stuff for treating depression? Because out of all the stuff I've ever done, I've never done that because I was afraid like I was going to have a bad trip or a bad thing going on. But I'm reading a lot of good stuff about it.
I didn't know a lot, but I just recorded, and I haven't produced it yet. One of my recent podcasts, I just recorded Corey Lane Hilton, and he is a former exotic dancer who, of course, I get people way off track off their bio, and that's a joy of mine in sharing stories. And he dabbled in psychedelics, and I think is it him? Is another guest as well, and they talked about psychedelics.
Is he
Oh, it was
taking
this
acid or
other guy.
mushrooms? What?
It was mushrooms, and this other guest said, um, "Yeah, you could walk down the street in Denver with a bag of these things, and it's legal, but you try and sell them, and then you can't." But this guest was, it was a different name. But anyway, he said that he did it 3 times, and he considered himself cured from PTSD issues.
Mhm.
And it's basically, he said, it has to be in this realm of in an office and guided. You can't just go off and do
Microdosing.
this.
Microdosing, that's what everybody's saying.
Well, and what was that show? 9 Perfect Strangers or something
Yeah.
like that, where it was
Mhm.
like,
Somebody said if you, we just started talking. We've only known each other for about 5-8 minutes now. But Neil, he said names for Tuddle's book. Like, I don't know. Like I've told
oh,
you some of this stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, uh,
I love that
we'll
question. It's
we'll get to that. CNC Chips, he said, you asked him what he drank. He wrote, like to sip on tequila, maybe some rum or good gin.
so
Who the
not a
hell
bad
drinks
gin.
gin?
He doesn't want the bad stuff.
Oh man, gin. Like I mean, don't they put that? They put that in martinis and stuff, right? So,
Yeah, gin and tonic.
but who drinks like straight gin though, man? I've been watching a lot of Peaky Blinders, and they were like,
It's
they
nice and clear, so
oh
I don't know.
oh, you
No.
could pass it off as water. CNC Chips also says she is lit. All right,
Hmm.
so I was also reading you do a lot of public speaking as well too, right? Do you do some of that?
Yes. Just did some today. I left the office and came home and did a presentation for an online summit, which was also on StreamYard. And then you went off to this other room where was your booth. And I was
Mm.
like, this was so fancy. You could meet people off to the side like you would after a talk. Yeah, I talk about improv for real life. I've been an improviser and prank enthusiast for 2 decades. And I ran, owned, and performed in a comedy troupe for 20 years in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So I love
Oh,
to
yeah,
write sketches. Carol
Wisconsin, yeah,
Burnett is my
betcha.
hero.
Yeah,
Yeah, in
bet.
Wisconsin there, you get the boat and you get out your boots
Yeah,
and you get out there
yeah.
and get your snow shovel right by your rake. Don't you know? You never know if she's gonna snow. Be ready.
Fish on J writes, "Over the Waves," a Patrick Fowler story. I've lived in Florida all my life, so
So that's your
right by
actual
the
name
sea.
is Patrick Fowler? I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking Fowler play. I'm thinking a play on
Oh,
that.
or foul ball, the life of
Yeah.
play on the
Yeah.
foul, foul ball, striking out on a foul tip or something. Um, so now I want to talk. So you were in a comedy troupe, okay? And I've interviewed. By the way, did you hear Gilbert Godfrey died?
Shut up.
No, yeah, he passed away today. I just read that news before I came on.
No. Usually my husband sends me all the deaths right away.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, I mean, they all come in three. They say, well, they seem to come in threes and stuff. But Gilbert Godfrey was one of those comedians that a lot of people are like, oh, he's trash or whatever. But like all of his Howard Stern appearances and stuff. I mean, the guy was a pretty edgy comic.
Yes.
He actually got in trouble. He lost. Think about that. He was the Aflac Duck for the longest time. And he made a joke after the Boxing Day tsunamis that happened. And he ended up getting let go from that gig. And that's a sweet gig just to come in there and voice it because he did have a unique voice.
For sure. Yeah, and I think that was all persona, just like, Sam Kinison had
Yeah.
that kind of rawness about him and that, screech or definite voice that you knew it was them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad that he's gone.
Another one that gets a bad rap, and he's from the Orlando area, and one of the nicest guys. And they think he's like a hack comic. He's not edgy. Carrot Top, Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Is another one. Like, he is the nicest guy in the world. Have you ever seen his workout photos? Like, the guy's like nobody. Most comedians are not like. Well, Joe Rogan, like he does like
Joe Rogan.
martial arts and stuff. But I mean, Carrot Top, man, I think he was on the juice. I think he was doing a couple around. Like, he was ripped.
His eyebrows are pumped.
Oh, well, his eyebrows are actually tattooed on. You know that, right? Like,
no.
He has some of that. You know how people get the permanent makeup set? I think he has some of that stuff done. And I'm not talking trash. Carrot Top's one of the nicest guys in the world. Like, he would come in, and he, when you talk to some of these people, you can tell when they're just going through the motions,
right?
Or they're actually just listening. But back to my original question, they make all the jokes about women not being able to be funny, or they can't roll with the punches and stuff. Like, being a female doing improv and comedy and stuff, like, have you like had to deal with any of that?
Well, yeah, the crowds definitely want to go dark. So you yell out to the audience, give me an occupation. And it would happen night after night. Proctologist. Well, you know what? Once we go up your butt, then where are we going? So I prefer corporate clean humor that goes to the edge. Well, just like the Shrek movie went to the edge.
That's where the money is. That's where the money. I mean, come on.
I think so. There's another comedy troupe in my area that is really dark, and they'll call different people from the college system like that. He's a pedophile or he's a rapist and whatever. It's like, that's not funny to me, and it's not true. So that is not humor to me, to just name call and act like that's going to be your sketch, or that sex toys have to be in the breadbasket. You're better than that. I think you can do situational humor just like you do when you're sitting around with your buddies sipping your gin and tonics. I believe it was Cece's drink, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Fish on J, I want to put this compliment. Fish on J says, I got to say it, not lying, Pat. She's a nice looking crick. And
I'm a lit crick.
Yeah, well, here in the South, the past radio show I was on, like, if you one of the we would call the ladies crickets, like
I love it.
Yeah, so
that could be my next ex-husband. Thank you for that.
Wait, 3 times? Now let me ask you. So
ask anything.
Did you like get any paydays on the previous 2? Like, I mean, did they like cheat on you, or like, I mean, was it amicable, or like what happened with those previous 2 marriages?
I am so easy to divorce. It's just ridiculous. So, no, the first one, we just grew apart after we had our 2 amazing sons, and we're still friends to this day. I just sent him a music video right before I got on. We are very close and very good friends.
My ex-wife. People bust my balls about it.
Let them. People don't have to pick sides, and if you think you have to pick sides, then you're going to lose both people. So
I hated her guts right after the divorce.
Of course you do.
I mean, after that though.
Of course.
Neil says, love her attitude.
Thank you. How nice.
Now, second one. I mean, do you still talk? I mean, you said you talked to the first one. Second one, no?
Yes, second one. We didn't have any kids together. After 10 years with him, I just fell out of love. I found out he was really dabbling in porn, and
whoa. Wait. He was a performer, or like
no, just very much into it. And so to me, that takes away from our relationship if you have to seek it elsewhere. Yeah.
Wait, whoa. Okay. Now I do agree that pornography does give you like wrong expectations when it comes to love life and stuff. But I mean, come on. I mean, all right. So like, I'm not trying to shock jock or be like shocking.
Go there, man. Go there.
I mean, there are weekends when women are, dealing with certain things that women have to deal with every single month and stuff. So you would have a problem. Yeah.
Riding the cotton pony.
Yeah, exactly. So you would have a problem with him if he was, watching porn and stuff there.
Yes.
Like, really?
Yes, because there was more to it than that.
Like
and
what? Like, was he paying, like, was he spending money and stuff on it, or like
he did have sites he was paying for, and I happened to find an email that bounced back. Yeah, that said, "Oh, I can't get into the site," and I made my payment. I was like, that felt like he was cheating on me. And some marriages are like, "Hey, go screw your friend. I don't care," or you can watch whatever you want as long as you're with me. But you know what? In the bed, he wasn't with me. And to know that he had all these fantasy posters that in his bachelor pad, and to know that he LARPs and he plays Dungeon and Dragon, I'm like, somewhere in real life is real life.
What's wrong with, I mean, well, I've never live action role played, but I mean,
when you put it all together,
okay.
You're in a fantasy world.
Did you get a chance of like what was some of the stuff that he was into, like, or did you like get into that deep? Like, was he into some like weird stuff? Like, would that, or was that the problem?
I didn't get into that because, again, I'm into real life, and I could make things fun at night, but you know, if it wasn't good enough for you, then it just was a real turnoff for me, and I never felt like we were present together when we were alone. And now we've been divorced 11ish years, and I hang out with his almost ex-wife, and we go to the craft fairs, and she told me that he asked for a divorce, and now his best friend did the same, another male. So I'm thinking, aha, that's what it is. He's been hiding his bi-ness or whatever. And I'm like, how sad would that be?
Whoa. Let's back up here a little bit. Bi-ness? I mean, look, I mean, listen, I support LGBTQT, like, but I mean, we can't brush over that, like, for real.
Exactly. I got to answer Fish that, do I like younger guys?
Well,
you know, if I need the yard mowed or something, sure. If I need a couch moved, the yard. But no, I'm really liking this last and final husband. He's really good. But Fish, I'll keep you on the line. Oh.
Now let me. Somebody
you wanted to talk about what were you saying?
Yeah. So the somebody says sound like a Bubba sidekick or somebody. That was the last radio show that I worked with.
Sounds like Bubba. A drink I'd get at the mall.
Yeah, I worked with Bubba the Love Sponge here.
Super. I heard you mention that.
Yeah, he you know, are you into wrestling at all? Like, I mean, everybody heard about the Hulk Hogan sex tape thing. Like,
right?
Yeah, that was Bubba.
Oh yeah,
that was Bubba's wife. That Hogan was, the guy that I worked for. He was, you know, like his ex-wife, like he hooked up with.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it was
but you know.
It costs a lot. So if he had to do that all over again, I think he would take it back.
Him and Tommy Lee.
Yeah. So bi-ness, like,
I think maybe he's into this guy, this bro that he's always been hanging with, and just if you talk about him, he would just get starry-eyed and want to do whatever theater project he was in, and so his almost ex and I are like, yeah, I bet you there's something there, which is fine. It'd be sad if he had to hide it.
But women like to, like, you know, like, oh man, he's a dirty dog, and they always, you know, oh, he must be gay or he must be bisexual.
Yeah, it's not that way. It just kind of makes sense the way it's lining up. So we're just staying tuned. But he and I are still friends, and I send business towards his company. We don't chitty chat. We don't have a reason to. We don't share kids or anything. But I send him business, and he sends me prank stuff. So, you know, we're still in touch that way.
So back to the book here. Where did you do an audio version of the book?
I did.
Did you read it yourself, or did you have somebody else do it?
I did. I read it myself because some of the sections are pretty tragic and talk about being beaten with a belt and things. And then all of a sudden,
is that the worst thing you were beaten with?
Pardon?
Was that the worst thing you were beaten with? Because I mean, a lot of people here in the South, they get electrical cords
or go pick out your switch.
Yeah. Oh, my dad. Yeah. If you don't pay,
I lived in Tennessee for a while. I do understand that side.
Where was the beating section? Because like mine was from the shoulders down to the back of the knee, so it was
didn't matter. I was pounded in the head with a regular wall phone and screamed so loud the police came.
Oh, those phones were well built back in the days too. So
I was trapped between her legs and she was pounding my head. So that was probably the worst one.
Did you do anything bad? Like, what was the worst thing you did? Or was it back to, you know, you said your mom had substance abuse problems and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever do anything to like, oh yeah, I deserve that one?
No, she was just in a rage. No, I don't remember that I did. There's 3 siblings, so 4 total. And we would just take turns saying I did it. Number 3.
Number 3. See, being the middle kid is kind of good. If you're the
Yep.
youngest, you kind of get maybe not get away with everything.
He
But
did get a pass, and the oldest one took the
took
most of
most
it.
of them.
Yeah, she had a
What?
knife held to her and stuff. I definitely
A
remember
knife?
that night.
A knife? An actual knife?
Yep. Yep,
Well,
I remember
how?
that night.
Wait, what? How does it lead to end with a knife and stuff?
Well, my mother held a knife up to her. My sister left
Throat,
home at
arm,
19, up to
throat.
her, up by her chest,
Oh,
chest
okay.
and neck.
Mm.
I remember my sister left home at 19, got pregnant, and then married. And she was a stepmom of 3 kids by the age of like 22, had no washer or dryer. My second, my older brother, he moved away to California as soon as he could. I left home at 17, and then my younger bro just kind of held on and got everything he could.
Is your mom still alive or no?
She is not. She passed in 2014.
Did you, like, be able to make up? I mean, or like, did you guys not talk leading up to her death?
It's a great question. The roller coaster ride was ebb and flow, and I was the only one taking care of her until I realized my younger brother was also getting money from her. So my money was going actually to him.
Mm.
And so that didn't work out. I was in touch as much as I could be, but I also learned a lot about boundaries, and I definitely have friends that come to me for that information, learning about boundaries to preserve their own lives. But up and down, and I helped with my brother. We planned her funeral, and we made nice for that day. But he's a scary guy, so I stay away from him.
What do you mean by scary guy? Like, I mean, was he like messed up? Like,
He's a guy that if you pissed him off, he would come and put fox urine in your air conditioner. He would send you all kinds of junk mail that have
you
very
said
derogatory words.
Deer piss is way worse than fox urine.
Well, you give him a call.
Yeah.
Obviously, he needs some help. He would make videos of shooting things using the N-word, like shooting a tree and calling it the N-word. Scary. And when I had my book release, he was calling all the media in town and
Trying
telling
to
them that.
you?
Yeah. And then he apologized to the police.
What was he saying about you and stuff?
He thought my book was slamming Mother, but really I give my mom credit for getting me into performing and things. So I gave her a lot of credit. Hey, there's 2, 3, 4 sides to everything. And I gave all the sides. And I said, if my siblings have a version to write, I totally invite you to write your book and I will buy the first copy. Hasn't happened.
Eric Fitzpatrick writes, this lady has a Jamie Lee Curtis look to her.
Oh.
You have all your fingers, because Jamie Lee Curtis does have a missing finger. If you ever looked at her hand, she does have a missing finger.
How do you know I have all mine?
I don't know. I'm just.
How
saying.
do you know that I don't have a stunt finger in here?
I mean, your fingernails actually match your outfit. Like, you do that on purpose.
No, I work with cops. They don't notice a thing.
Wait, you work with cops?
I do. I'm an assistant in records and dispatch by day.
Oh man. Okay.
And I still prank even at work. My husband's like, "What are you thinking, pranking people who are packing?"
My producer says that you got to go soon, so let me let's get all the plugs. I hopefully I didn't do anything to offend you or anything.
Hell no, you didn't even get close. I'm disappointed.
Well, trust me, I just got monetized on some of these platforms, so I got to be careful.
I love it.
But I was reading you say that you like to take dares and stuff, and I would like to kind of, because you were doing improv and stuff, and I was thinking, what do you mean by that? Like, going out and filming something, or like, like, because I made my bread and butter in radio from doing the man on the street stuff, going out and just interviewing people. I've been assaulted so many times from going up and asking questions and stuff. I got, pissed off a lot of people going up and asking them questions. I covered the Casey Anthony trial. I got a lot of their lawyers to curse, like on live TV, Jane Velez Mitchell, all those. It was crazy. So I'm fearless. So like we need to keep in touch. So like maybe, you can come up with something that I can go out and do. And I don't know.
I think that'd be great. We can dare each other. I think that anything that makes your heart beat faster and raises your adrenaline, like laughing and doing dares and doing pranks,
I get
it's
turned on by
affordable fun.
Neil Laguerre says, awesome guest. Thank you, Tuddle.
Oh, sweet, Neil. Yeah, I'm just a lit cricket.
Lit cricket. CNC chips, put her in a box with crabs. That was one of the things. They put me in a coffin with 50 blue crabs, and they poured them over me. I was only wearing nothing but a jock strap and a helmet. That was pretty painful, by the way.
Oh my God.
I was also.
That's a sentence I didn't expect to see today.
That's not the worst stuff. I was actually in a circle jerk challenge when we were on. My ankles were handcuffed to 3 other guys, completely nude, and the first one that could, completion won like $800.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know that. That's when Bubba was on Howard Stern's network. I did get $100 bonus. I was not the winner, but because I got another guy's substance on my knee, by the way. But it was $100.
$100 is $100, baby.
Yeah, I mean that's a bad note to go out on. Before you go, tell my audience and my supporters how they can check you out online, find out any of the info, and check out any of the stuff that you got out there.
All right, my podcast is called Stranger Connections with Lisa David Olson. I am old, so I'm on Facebook, Lisa David Olson, Instagram. What else? I don't know. Oh, LinkedIn, but who cares about it?
Are you doing dances on TikTok and stuff? Because I got to tell you, I think it would be through the roof if you did that.
I am on TikTok. I'll have to figure out that Jamie Lee Curtis dance and maybe do that one.
My audience is going to Google pictures of you because they can only see you from like the chest up and stuff. We got to check her out and everything. Oh, okay. All right, there we go. All right. So CNC Chip says, great show. I got to tell you, my audience, my supporters can be a little rough. Like they go into it like, all right, this guest has got to prove to me that, she can bring it. And you definitely did. So
awesome.
That was good. Your website, once again, so people can check it out. Is all the links? Is the website the best thing to go to?
Sure, but I'll chat with you on Facebook. But yeah, lisadavidolson.com. And I have my own comedy page on Facebook. It is clean and it's counterclockwise. So more punchlines, less headlines.
All right, I'm going to let you go. I just got to read these comments. OMG, Neil writes. Eric Fitzpatrick, I think that's a typo, but I think he meant to say sexy.
Oh, wow.
Fish on J says, wish she was my teacher back in school. And Iggy T, she's my #1 supporter. Oh, what just fell down in the background?
My books. Too close. I got all worked up with the compliment.
And Iggy T, she's my biggest Canadian supporter. She says she's fabulous.
Oh, thanks, Iggy. Back at you. Canuck? All right, is that what you say?
Yeah. Wait, one more. I got to read this. Fish on J, old and smoking, not that you smoke, but smoking hot.
Smoking. Nice. Well, thank you. I always do have a fake one with me.
Hold on. This guy, I just asked if she was on Twitch or Twitter. I don't know why it was deleted. Are you on Twitter or Twitch or anything like that?
Nope. But if I should ought to message me and we'll figure that out.
Are you smoking a vape there? What
he said smoking. This is everybody should always have a fake cigarette by their
okay.
computer.
I was about to say, I was like,
that and a harmonica.
Oh, good. Eric says smash. That means like that's a good thing with the younger generation.
I was gonna say, how old your guest is when you have to translate the words like
no,
that. And I did get lit.
I'm offensive. I'm just saying, like I know. They do smash or trash. I just wanted to clarify that.
I'm just feeling the love. We're just gonna have to have another play date.
Yeah, we got to do that, Lisa. Hey, I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much, and let's keep in touch. I would definitely want to have you on again. Okay,
I would love it.
All right,
I'll
have a great
night.
On
my show too. Thank you.
Oh, dude, please, I will come on immediately.
I will be haunting you. Thank you.
All right, have a great night, Lisa.
Good night.
All right, bye.